Um, my name is Sergeant Michael Philip Franks. I've been in for 7 years, actually, just hit my 7th year. I'm infantry, but I have special duty as a recruiter right now here in the Warren County area, specifically Lebanon.
Okay. Why did you join the service?
I initially joined, I joined late. I was 26 when I joined. I'm 33 now. Because I was playing too much. I was 26, had a really great job actually. I was making a lot of money. All I would do is surf and work and go back to surfing or boxing or go lift weights and then play guitars and drink beer. And I hit my 25th birthday and I was out at the beach at like 4 in the morning and I just got angry at myself that I'd spent the last basically 3 years, 4 years just playing.
And then you lived in California?
Yeah, I lived in California, but I just got angry that I didn't really appreciate all the blessings in my life, and so I decided to do something different, do something completely out of the ordinary. And
so right out of the blue.
Well, that's actually not true because I'd actually thought about some military service for years and years and years. All my uncles and my grandfather were all in the service.
So it's in the family?
So it runs in the family, and not all my uncles, but majority of my uncles. And then I just had forgotten kind of that had been a wish of mine when I had been younger, like 16, before the college thing took over. And so I said, well, I'm going to go do something different. And so I joined the Army and I did it once, a 63% pay cut. I think it was 63% pay cut to join the Army, and I'll never go back to what I was doing ever.
So it's a pretty solid decision.
I'm good. I love being a soldier. I love being an infantryman.
That's awesome. How many have you been deployed?
I've been deployed twice. Once was for 15 months in Iraq for OIF 7 in Samara with the 101st Airborne Division, no slack. And then second time was same unit, but this time to Afghanistan, Kunar, OIF 11, 2010, 2011. So.
How long was that one?
That was 12 months.
12 months.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like being away from your family while in the military?
That's actually the only thing I don't like. I love deployments in the fact that I joined in 05, so we were right in the middle of ramping up, and I enjoy deployments. I actually like deploying. I like the job itself. I enjoy, we lift weights and we eat and we go and do missions and we come back and
what do you
work on
like
equipment.
That's what you like most about it, just being out
Just
there?
being out and doing your job. It's really worthwhile. The worst, but it's the best and it's the worst part about my job because I actually have a wonderful family and I have an amazing wife who is stuck through now 27 months of deployment, taking care of 2 kids, totally pro-military. She was a family readiness group leader for our company, which is like she's kind of like the information conduit for the wives and girlfriends when we're gone. Mm-hmm. So it's the best because I'm doing my job. I'm a soldier. This is what I want to do. But it's the worst at the same time because they're not there. So.
You got deployed twice. Can you tell me a little bit about Afghanistan?
Afghanistan. Iraq was. Let's start with Iraq because Iraq was. We only really had like a real couple of months of any sort of fighting in Iraq. And then mostly it was some IEDs and so forth. A couple big days, lost some really good guys on a day. One of my best friends ever on a day. But after that, it was pretty much little tiny tussles. We had some more people injured in our unit, and we didn't lose that many. As in, we still lost. One loss is more than we won. But Afghanistan was the Wild West, on the border in Kunar of Pakistan, up in the mountains, surrounded by little villages full of Taliban and Taliban supporters, and we just fought a lot. It was a lot of fighting.
So Afghanistan was worse?
Yes, it was worse in the sense of the action, but for Afghanistan is like the fight that you think you wanted when you were a little boy. We were playing Army with your friends and for us, maybe I'm too old, but for us it was the Nazis. My buddies and I, we'd be playing war out on the beach and we're fighting Nazis, 'cause we hate Nazis. But that was the war you thought it was, the charging up the hills and being shot at and shooting back. That's what Afghanistan was. But it wasn't good. Like, you know, you're a boy, you're playing, nobody gets hurt, and nothing really happens. But then it becomes reality, and you're like, oh, that. When I was a kid, I knew nothing. Oh boy, did I know nothing. I mean, you already knew you knew nothing as a kid, but boy, this was not what I was. This is not what I imagined at all. So.
What was the first thing you did when you returned to civilian life?
Slept. No, seriously. I got to Iraq. I'm not. Well, you don't really. You're always in the army, so it's not return. I mean, I'm not trying to be a jerk here, but in soldier, you're never a civilian. Even right now, I'm not a civilian. I'm doing what is the closest thing to a civilian job, one of the closest things civilian jobs an army individual can do. But I'm still not a civilian. I'm still a soldier.
So what was the first thing you did when you got
Back from deployment? There you
go.
Sorry.
You're okay.
I slept actually. I saw my family for about 5 minutes and had the first time Iraq, I had an 9-month-old boy, so I fell asleep with him on my chest. That was kind of fun. And then Afghanistan, pretty much the same thing. You just kind of get back, and then you just kind of, I'm home, and you just kind of, I just released, just went to sleep.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
What was the best day you spent while in the service of our nation, and what was the worst day you spent?
Best day. I got married while I was in. I'm gonna say that was it. I'm not even lying. I was a little sick at the day, and I was in the middle of that pipeline I was talking about, and but I still remember it, and I still remember it, and it was still such a. I didn't know at the time was the best decision I ever made, was marrying her. So it was good. Marrying Emily was the best day of my life. It was the best day in the military because I was in the military. And the worst day? Man. It's a toss-up. It's either January 8th or June 7th.
What happened on those days?
That's when all my buddies, like the majority of my buddies, were killed. AC was killed March 28th. That sounds right. I have to look. I don't remember right now. But yeah, January 8th, 2008, that's when Hart, Merlo, and and 10-year were killed. And then June 7th is when First Sergeant Barton, Josh, Blaine, Catlett, and Jerdal